Not gonna lie, I'm not really a big fan of Phantom Gab's design. And to be clear, I'm only talking about the design. Like, I'm not saying the card's ability or anything like that. And I'm also not trying to, say it's a bad drawing or artwork, because the artwork itself looks amazing. I'm just not a big fan of the design. The first reason for me I'm not a big fan is because of how much aura they give it. Like, it has the black smoke and then these crazy cool looking red eyes, and then that's all we see. You know what this looks like to me? You know who this is to me? This is who Gab looks like. It just looks like Dark Spyro. That's all it is to me. That's all Gab Phantom looks. And I definitely think the issue is just these eyes. I'm not, well, obviously not Spyro's eyes, but Gab Phantom's eyes. I feel like that's the biggest issue I have with it. Now, to be fair, different angles do help it look better. Like, this definitely does look more intimidating, but at the same time, it's just those eyes. Like, they throw me off so much. It's like, a big cool part about dragons and different creatures in Vanguard is that the design is like not human. And these eyes look very human to me. Obviously there's humans in Vanguard. I'm not saying there's not or anything. But I don't know, I wouldn't expect the dragon to just look like that, And I know that they're just trying to keep Gab looking like Gab. But at the same time, that's also something I don't like, because it just looks like a recolor to me, Like, it really doesn't look all that different in my opinion. Obviously, like, a little bit design changes here and there, but overall it's kind of just the same card, just as Dark States. The closest you can compare it to is maybe with Blangmire Phantom, how it's still clearly Blangmire, but at the same time, this is a perfect example of it looking so completely different that you're like, yeah, we know that's Blangmire, but if you didn't know that's Blangmire, you do not know that's Blangmire. We could also look at examples like Youthberg, where it's such a cool, radically different design that it's like, okay, well, obviously, you're like, maybe that's Youthberg if you didn't know, but, like, it's just a cool design and cool creative liberties they take where it just makes it look like an entirely different unit. Zorga's another example where it's, like, so much different from the faded one. It looks more like the original Zorgas, but it does look very different from the faded one. Or Magnolia and Impaldeo's here too, so that's a good one too. But just great examples. I'm not even a big Lyrica fan, but the fact that they had the creative liberties to change it completely to look like an entirely different thing entirely is what makes the Phantom concept really cool. But for me, Phantom Gab just looks like I said, a recolor. But what do you guys think? Do you think I'm just being dramatic? Do you like these big eyes? What do you guys think?